Hello everyone and welcome to the final episode of my Human Mage Let's Play series, where this is episode 52, and there is a lot of stuff that I want to do in this episode as we wrap up this character and look ahead towards the next adventure that we are going on, where we are currently in the Eastern Plaguelands and we are just over 2 bars away from reaching level 60, where in the Eastern Plaguelands there are a few more things that I want to do before we start doing some other stuff. Where the first thing that I want to look at is kind of some of the in-game-ish content that we can do here in Light's Hope Chapel, where of course there are dungeons and raids that are in-game content, but we can look at some stuff like reputations and also kind of unlocking some like early in-game level gear, or like the first steps to unlocking that gear. We're looking at reputations. We can come over here to the Duke right here, and we can go ahead and turn in some of our Scourge Stones, where we have the Invader Scourge Stones and the Minion Scourge Stones. So we can turn 20 of the Minion ones in, and we get an Argent Dawn Valor token, which will permanently increase our reputation. And then we got like 27 reputation from just turning that in. And then we have Invaders Scourge Stones here that we can go ahead and turn in. And I got all of these as we have fought the undead around the Eastern and Western Plaguelands. And if we were to consume the Argent Dawn Valor token, we would get the same amount of reputation again, but we could also use these tokens for some of that in-game gearing and stuff. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time, because I will, not this one, because this will bring us up to friendly with the Argent Dawn, which will allow us to do the next thing that I want to look at, which is something that I have been kind of looking at for the last little bit of our Let's Play series, where I think we unlock some new quests here with the Quartermaster we can talk to. And we have the Superior Armaments of a Battle, where we can get 30 Insignias of the Dawn and 30 Insignias of the Crusade. And then kind of a similar thing here, but 110, which is a lot more than 30. And we can go ahead and come into here. Oh, looks like we have rain here, which we can actually do the first thing from. So we have rain, and then also inside of the chapel here, we have a lot more people that have just given us new quests. And there are 5 of these quests that we can do. And it's basically going to take us around the world to do different things to gather specific items, where I have gathered some of those items, and we need 30 of each one. And I have gathered 30 Savage Fronds, I've gathered 60 Dark Iron Scraps, and then there are also the Bone Fragments, which I've only gotten 19 of, so we can't turn that in. There's the Core of Elements, which I've only gotten 10 of, and this one's kind of hard because of like the water elementals, and I'm a Frost Mage, but I could fight other elementals to get some of the Core of Elements. And then there are also the Nerubian like fragments or whatever, that scraps or whatever that we can get from Nerubians around the Eastern and, well, just the Eastern Plaguelands, I think. But we can come to Rain here, and we can pick up this quest to bring 30 Savage Flora. And then she can also tell us where to get these, so we can get it from Felwood's Trance and Ungoral's Lashers. But we already have 30, so I can go ahead and turn these in, and we can pick either Insignia of the Crusade or Insignia of the Dawn. And then we have this, and that is very beneficial for us. And we got a lot of experience for the first turn in, but we can continuously turn them in to get more and more of these insignias. And if we come into here, we can see all the different ones, where we have Bone Scythe Digs here, which is the Bone Fragments, and then we have Crypt Stalker Armor, which, let's see, what do we need for this? Crypt Fiend Parts, that's what it's called. And then we have the Elemental Equation, where we can bring the Core of Elements. And then lastly, we have Binding the Dreadnought, which we can see we can bring 30 Dark Iron Scraps. We can turn them in, and we can get the Insignia of the Dawn, where we can only get the Insignia of the Dawn from this person, and then we can do it again and get all that again, but we don't get the experience again. And then I think if we talk to this person, we only get the Insignia of the Dawn, and then I think these two will only give us Insignia of the Crusade, and then Rain allows us to choose. So there are 5 different ones, and I guess the Savage Flora is kind of nice because you can just choose one or the other, but you can like farm out all of those, and you can then use them over here to get the Epic or Superior Armaments of a Battle. But that's all I'm going to do with that for now. I just noticed we have a letter from Commander Marlith here, which this is actually a really cool thing because I did some questing and Selethis, and then we got to this necklace, which I don't think is better, actually. Nah, that's not better than what we currently have, but that's still a cool reward to get. But next, I want to go ahead and do a few more things across the Eastern Plaguelands of 3 distinct areas that I kind of want to showcase, and then we can kill a few mobs as we are going to these different areas and level up towards level 60, and then once we are done looking at these 3 areas, we can go ahead and kill the last few mobs that we need to kill in order to get to level 60. So let's go ahead and head over towards the first place right now. But the first place that I want to go to is this direction where we have Quel'Thalas, and this is a really cool area of the road which we don't visit until the first expansion to World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade, where we can make Blood Elf characters, and that will be something that we'll look at down the line. But in vanilla World of Warcraft, we only have the road that leads to Quel'Thalas, and we can check out the area a little bit, but we cannot go any further than the blockade here and the road. And of course, Quel'Thalas has played an incredibly important part in the Warcraft games, and then of course in World of Warcraft and future expansions, including an expansion that was recently announced to be coming out in a few years. But as we run up to here, we see there's a bunch of boulders and a bunch of fallen trees, and we have one high elf, blood elf right here named Aiden, and of course there are the 2 others down there that we interacted with last episode. And we can try to get a little bit of height here, and we can peer into Quel'Thalas a little bit, and we can see it's just a little bit of a foresty region, but of course there are some cool areas that direction once we were able to go there in the future. And the next location that I want to go to is Tyr's Hand, which we talked a lot about yesterday. And we have Corn's Crossing here, which of course we came in on the west side, and then we just came back in through here on the north side. But I've never taken the road east out of Corn's Crossing here, and we need to be really careful because of the potential Scarlet Messenger that goes from Tyr's Hand to Stratholme that we talked about last episode. But this is like one of the 2 bastions of the Scarlet Crusade in the Eastern Plaguelands, and one of the few bastions that they have left in like all of Lordaeron. And we are not going to be doing a ton of stuff here because this is an elite level area where all the mobs around here are elite, and we could probably kill them like one by one because we are a powerful frost mage. But I just want to kind of poke our head into here and just see like kind of what's going on, and it is a pretty cool location that I personally like a lot more in a future expansion, in the second expansion for World of Warcraft, because it gets expanded on a little bit. But we see here we have a bunch of Scarlet Warders and a Scarlet Cleric. Let's see if we can get close enough to kind of uncover the map art here. I might just run in and then use all my defenses to get out. So we just discovered Tyr's Hand. Looks really cool. Let's get out of here now. And I'm already taking quite a bit of damage, and I somehow, 16% health. I somehow did not get dismounted there, and there are 6 Scarlet Crusaders just storming after me. And I don't think I take damage from this. Okay, yeah, it just increases the damage I could take, and I think we are in the clear unless I get attacked by like one of these plague bats or something. But that is Tyr's Hand, and we can see it on our map here. It is a little bit on the greener side compared to the rest of the Eastern Plaguelands. But let's go ahead and check out the last location that I want to go to, where we have Browman Mill here, which is right outside the Light's Hope Chapel, and this leads to a pretty heavily fortified Scourge area that we can poke our head around, and we can kill a bunch of Scourge around here. And I'm not entirely sure why this area is just super special to me, but it's just like a spot that I like to come to a lot. And I guess as we come into here, let's go ahead and pop the final buff that we have from the Blasted Lands, from the quest that we did over there, and that increased our intellect by 25, which is good. Let's go ahead and just kill a few undead as we get up into here. But similar to Tyr's Hand, this is a location that gets expanded on a little bit with the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, which might be one of the reasons why I like it so much. But when the original classic World of Warcraft came out all the way back in 2019, this is actually the spot that I hit level 60 on my first ever level 60 in that game, and was actually the only level 60 that I've gotten in vanilla World of Warcraft up until this character, I suppose, where I deemed level 60 on a level 60 Scourge champion, just like that one that's getting attacked right there. So maybe we could do something similar here. But last episode I talked a lot about how much I enjoy fighting the Scourge in World of Warcraft and like undead in video games in general, and this is just like a zone, and this location in particular is just an area where we can fight a lot of Scourge, and it's just fun to kill like a bunch of undead. And of course the storylines that go on here as well is super cool, where I love Arthas as a villain, and then I love Tyrion, and I love Darian, and I love all the other characters and all the other villains. Cthulhu is pretty cool, the dungeons are cool, these zones are cool. It's just a very cool part of World of Warcraft that I enjoy quite a bit. But as we kill this Dreadweaver right here, we can enter the Noxious Glade, and we can see this is a very cool and large area that has some ziggurats and just a lot of undead and a bunch of like scourge like fortifications, like these bone spikes and these banners here. And we can get a better view of this place where we can see yet another plague cauldron, where we dealt with 4 plague cauldrons in the Western Plaguelands, and we have another one here, and there's also a Human Mage here as well, and a human rogue. So it looks like this is a pretty popular location in vanilla, where I don't really know why people would be here fighting. Maybe just because they're scourge mobs and they're high level, so maybe there's like some good drops going on here. But let's go ahead and just kill a few scourge and then maybe head back towards Light's Hope Chapel. I do have a quest in this area that I can work on if I wanted to, but it's kind of a lengthier quest, and we are definitely going to hit level 60 before I complete it, and then it just leads to an elite quest as well, which I probably will not be doing anyways. But there are still quite a few quests around the road that I could do if I wanted to, but since I'm kind of done with this character once we reach level 60, I may refrain from doing them, and we could explore them in the future as well. Where for the most part, in the Eastern and Western Plaguelands, we have completed all of the open road quests that we can do, and there's just some dungeon quests and then like the turn-in quests as well. And then the same thing with the Western Plaguelands, we just have some dungeon quests that we can pick up here, and then some turn-in quests as well. And here is what the Eastern Kingdoms looks like on my map, where we can see there's just a bunch of different elite quests and some stuff that I kind of skipped over doing. And then in Kalimdor, there is a lot more stuff in Kalimdor that we have not done, but looking at like the higher level areas, I basically completed everything that I wanted to do, and we will explore more in the future. But back down here in Brahmin Mill, let's go ahead and just kill a few more undead, because we are very close to reaching level 60. There was a level 60 Scourge champion here, but it looks like this rogue wants to fight it, so I guess I will not be fighting that one. But let's go ahead and fight this Death Singer right here, where we are only 1 kill away from reaching level 60, so this might be the final mob in this entire Let's Play series that we fight. So let's go ahead and just do our old traditional cast a bunch of frostbolts, and we can keep casting them until this mob's health reaches level 0, just like we've done many different times, thousands of different times across this entire series. I'll just ice block there to break that fear, and then we can cast 1 more frostbolt and we can reach level 60 just like that, and our experience bar goes away, and we are now max level in World of Warcraft Classic, in the vanilla version of the game. So I suppose let's go ahead and head back towards Light's Hope Chapel, and we could spend at the final talent point if we wanted, where I have put all of our points into the Frost Tree here, which is probably like a little bit of a stupid build to do, but I've enjoyed playing this character and I've had a lot of fun with this character. But I guess let's go into Arcane, and let's go ahead and put one into here where we will reduce our target's resistances to all of our spells by 5, which is going to be beneficial to our frost spells. And with that, I think the next big thing that we have to do is to head back to the Kingdom of Stormwind, so let's go ahead and do just that. As we leave the Eastern Kingdoms and head back towards the Kingdom of Stormwind, and we go back through all the zones, or most of the zones that we experienced on our journey in this Let's Play series, I can't help but get a little emotional, because it's just so incredible to see how long that this Let's Play series has gone, and like how much effort I put into this Let's Play series, which is true for like any character that someone casually levels in World of Warcraft, because it is a pretty big endeavor. And we go through all these zones, and we complete all these quests, we defeat all these enemies, and we explore all these different areas, and it culminates in our entire journey to level 60, which of course we just completed. And I think World of Warcraft and the Road of Azeroth is just a very special place, and going through all these zones and kind of like reliving all my memories of doing these zones, like being in Hillsborough Foothills, being in the Rathi Highlands, being in the wetlands, and every other zone that we explored, even the recent ones, like when we went through the Burning Steppes and Siren Gorge. It just has been an incredible experience to be here and to kind of make all of these videos over the last like year and a half, where we started as a level 1 human mage in Northshire, and I was pretty new at making Let's Play series, and I am still pretty new, but I think I have improved a lot over the last year and a half-ish, and I am still going to be improving in the future as well, as I continue doing Let's Play series, and as I continue making videos, and as I continue making videos on a second channel, and learning and growing all these different skills. But just experiencing the Road of Azeroth again, and kind of just reminding myself of all these journeys that we've gone through in this series, kind of just reminds me of how much I love World of Warcraft in like the older version of this game anyways, from like the nostalgia I have for this game combined with just like the gameplay elements that just really click for me for some reason. And I will one day stop making videos about World of Warcraft, but I'm never going to stop thinking about World of Warcraft in some capacity, and I'm probably going to continue playing it in some capacity forevermore until the day I die, or the day the internet shuts down, or I lose my computer, or whatever. But my journey through Azeroth onto this human mage has just been an incredible journey for me, and I think it's really helped me grow a lot as someone who makes videos, and it's just been a lot of fun to share all of these videos and my stories and my memories with this game and my experiences and what I enjoy about it to everyone who watched. And to everyone who watched, thank you so much for joining me along this journey, because it has been a great journey. But now that we are back in Elwyn Forest and we are outside of the East Vale logging camp, let's go ahead and do something that I did at about level 20 and level 40, and I believe both of the times that I did this we were actually outside the East Vale logging camp, so it's kind of an interesting coincidence. But let's go ahead and go into our chat box here and type in /played, and we are going to get our /played time. So we have played this character for a total of 5 days, 9 hours, 10 minutes, and 14 seconds. So from the time that we initially created our character all those months ago, we have played a total of 129 hours, which is a little above average, but I definitely took my time, and I've definitely AFK'd a little bit. But it took us 129 hours to get from level 1 to level 60, which is pretty cool. But as we are at the East Vale logging camp, let's go ahead and come into here really quickly, because we are level 60, which means we can go ahead and learn expert riding, our level 60 riding reward, where we currently have a horse that increases our movement speed by 60%, and it has been very, very nice. But we can go ahead and learn how to ride a horse that, or buy a horse specifically in vanilla WoW, that will allow us to ride at a 100% bonus speed increase. So we have the horse riding instructor here, where in vanilla WoW you learn how to ride specific animals instead of a riding skill, that as it is in the Burning Crusade, I believe is when it gets changed. But if we come into skills here, we have horse riding 300 out of 300, so we can come to the horse breeder here and we can say we would like to buy from you. And then we have these horses. Of course, we have the black stallion that we got from Minotha Harbor, but we have a swift brown steed, a swift palomino, or how we pronounce that, and a swift white steed. So I think I'll go ahead and just go with the swift white steed here, and this is worth 900 gold, which is a lot of gold. And we can now go ahead and dismount off of this horse. I'll go ahead and get it off my action bar there. Can put the black, or not that, we can put the swift white steed onto our action bar, and then we can bind this to us, and once it's bound we can go ahead and get on it. And we are now riding a plus 100% movement speed increase mount, which is definitely significantly faster than the mount that we just had. But let's go ahead and get back on to the road to Stormwind, and let's go ahead and check out our character panel, where this is currently the gear that we have on our character, and it's just basic leveling gear that we have gotten over time. Of course, we have some special stuff like the Robe of Power that I dedicated most of an episode to making. But if we come into our honor tab really quickly, we didn't do any PvP except in Selithis. I did a tiny bit of stuff where I turned in like one thing that we'll talk more about when we get to Selithis in our next Let's Play series. But I got 189 honor If we come to our reputation here, we have our alliance reputations, where I got to revered with Stormwind and then honored with the other 3. We talked to the different alliance forces, and we turned in one quest related to Alterac Valley, which we turned in last episode. And then we have the Steamweedle Cartel, where we are friendly with all 4 of those factions. And then in the other tab, we got friendly with the Argent Dawn, we are hated with the Bloodsail Buccaneers, and then we are neutral with every single reputation that we have interacted with in this Let's Play series, other than the other ones above. And if we come into our skills here, we of course are level 60, so all of our class skills are 300 out of 300. I have done quite a bit of tailoring in this Let's Play series, and I'm probably not going to get to 300 because I don't really see the point, but we got to 274 tailoring, and we can make runecloth bags, and we can make the mooncloth here, and I think I am 1 point away from these runecloth gloves. And then if we look at secondary skills, we have only learned horse riding, so we are at 300 out of 300 on that. Here we are back in Goldshire, which we arrived to at the end of the first episode. But if you look at our weapon skills here, our defense is 272 out of 300. We spent some time using our staves in combat, and we got 142 points out of that. We've been disarmed sometimes, and I got 4 points in unarmed. And then I have 289 points out of 300 and wands, and then of course cloth, and then we are humans that speak common. But that is what our character looks like. And as we have Goldshire behind us, we of course have Stormwind City up in front of us. And we came here, I believe, in like episode 4 of this Let's Play series. And this is the final time in this Let's Play series that we will enter the gates of Stormwind, where of course we have the grand entrance with all the statues, and then we have the Cathedral of Light and at the background there with the moon alongside it. But there are just a couple more things that I want to do, where we have the role-playing event kind of going on right now with Onyxia, where we can see Nefarian's head right there actually, and then Onyxia's head over there hung up at the gates of Stormwind. But I think the first thing that I want to do is to go to the bank, because I have been doing something very special in this Let's Play series, and I have a little bit more stuff to put in my bank, and then we can take a look at it all. So I just deposited it all into my bank, and let's go ahead and take a look at the mementos that I have been collecting throughout our journey here in World of Warcraft, where I have occasionally just put in some items into our bank as we have journeyed, just to kind of remind us of where we have come. So we have Solid Crystal Lake Shaft, which is apparently the first, oh, I think I started all the way down here actually. Normally I start at the top left, but we have Apprentice's shirt, which is the shirt that we started with, and we of course got the red linen shirt from East Vale Logging Camp in episode 3, I believe. And then we got the Lace Staff, the Mana Weaver robes, the Staff of Westfall for killing Edwin Van Cleef, a Red Defias mask, Old Blanche's feed pouch, and then we have these flowers here. We have a translated letter from the Embalmer, the story of Morgan Lattimore, a library script, Sage's Fortune #1, and Never Eat Beef with a Tauren, Jaina's Signet Ring, Strom Guard badge, Lesser Wizard's robe, pristine crawler leg, this cloth chest piece here, this ice cream from when we did Children's Week. Then we have the Azure Silk Hood, Tabitha's instructions, ripped note, torn note, which say it's different things, icicle rod, Rumsey rum, the solid crystal lake shaft, and then we can come down here into our bags where I have a small green bag, a gunny sack of the night watch, and an ooze covered bag where I got some fish liver oil, a crystal pylon user's manual, the faded photograph of Lincoln, heavy throwing dagger, a ring of forlorn spirits, a black rock medallion, evergreen pouch, demonic rune, a flute of the ancients, a bobbing apple from Howl's End, words of the high chief, cache of the Maruari, or however you pronounce that, 3 of warlords, a beacon torch, marker resolution, a Dawson family wedding ring, Fellstone good luck charm, ruined tome, where I got like 12 of these and it was a pain to complete that quest, Plagueland termites, heroic commendation medal, plain letter, which is the letter from the Captain Ashram, or whatever his name is, at Chillwind Camp after you complete that quest chain. Hamiya's Slayer, Gerald's Pick, Mechanical Yeti, Nature's Whisper, and 3 insignia of the Dawn. Or I guess technically we got the Nature's Whisper after that. And I have a bunch of items in my bank that I'm going to go ahead and just clean up and sell on the auction house and throw into the merchant window and just get a little bit of extra gold. But while we're on the topic of the auction house, let's go ahead and do something a little bit fun and just come to the auction house and see if there's anything cool that we can buy now that we're level 60 and kind of deck out our character a little bit, even though I'm done playing this character. Where if we come into the armor slot here, let's go ahead and go into cloth, and then let's go to level 60. Can you filter here? Here we go, level 60 to level 60, and then search that, and then let's sort by price. So we have the stuff from Silithus, and then we'll go over here where we can, wow, it's a massive jump in price. Of course the economy is really messed up in vanilla because of people buying gold. So thank you to all those people, but I don't think we can buy any of these things, but it's kind of cool to look at. We have this glacial cloak here, which would be probably really cool on us, and like the whole glacial set, which is just like blue armor and stuff. No level 60 staves on the auction house. Let's go ahead and look at all the staves. The highest one is a level 57 staff. Oh, there's also this level 56 staff. This is 1,000 gold, and it looks pretty cool. So it's 359 gold, so we're like pretty close to being able to afford that one, and it looks like the same staff pretty much. And then we have the Sosa staff, which is pretty cheap for us actually, but we would want something like the owl one here, and that looks cool, but I don't think I'm going to be buying any of that. And then one final thing that I want to look at is the mage trainer and kind of just see what skills have unlocked for us at the level 60. And of course I'm probably not going to learn any of these skills because I'm done with this character, but let's go ahead. Oh, there's a dead hunter pet right there. That's kind of sad. Let's talk to El Shireen one last time. I'm interested in mage training where we can get this level 60 dampen magic, and we can get this level 60 polymorph. We can get this level 60 fireball, which is pretty cool. And then of course in the frost tree we can get this level 60 blizzard, which would be really, really powerful, and this level 60 ice armor, which is fun. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and spend some time cleaning up this character's inventory, and then we can go ahead and go somewhere on the road to log off for the last time ever. And again, for anyone who has watched this Let's Play series from any point in the series, even if you started in this episode, or if you have been here since the beginning, or any point in between, I thank you so much for watching the series. It has been so much fun to play through this Human Mage character, and I am excited for what comes next, which of course we will see on my channel very, very soon. But we are approaching the end of this episode, and I want you to just remember all of the things that I have said at the end of most of the episodes in this series, where I want you to drink some water, check your posture, and of course subscribe. But I'm going to go ahead and clean out my inventory, and then we can go ahead and go on one last journey on this character. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.